Hello and welcome to Autocar Professional. We are at a very interesting time when it comes to India's automotive industry. We're looking at multiple powertrains, and to talk about that and more about, how the industry is shaping up, how you are looking at the future, we have with us Mr. Parag Satpute, who's the Managing Director and Group CEO at Greaves Cotton. So welcome. Let me
Thank you
start
very
with
much.
that. You've recently joined this company. You've come from varied experiences internationally, here as well in India. What made you join a legacy company like this? What were some of the go-tos in your mind strategically? How do you approach this whole position?
So I liked how you started that we are at a very interesting time in India,
Yeah.
not just in the auto industry, I would say, overall, in India's evolution. I think the next few years is going to be really exciting. I have had the fortune to work with multinational companies and also to live and lead businesses in Europe. But I can tell you for a fact that the amount of energy and dynamism that we can see in India's industry today, especially in the engineering sector, is unmatched. So I really wanted to be a part of that, to get the energy from it, but also contribute towards the development of our country.
Okay.
So that led me to come to India. And then Greaves Cotton was a very good choice because it has such a rich heritage.
Yeah.
It is a 165-year-old company and it has been very active in contributing towards nation building.
Yeah.
So that's what brought me here, and I'm really excited to take on this role.
Yeah, it's also, like a dichotomy. You're at a with legacy companies and someone who's transitioning at a point of flux, transitioning into a new tech company, tech kind of a setup. How do you balance the both to keep the legacy alive as well as this transition that you're looking at with Greaves.Next? How will that transition play out?
I agree, it's an interesting challenge to have. We have a tagline, we call it growth powered by legacy. You know, this heritage and legacy we have brings with it a lot of capability and knowledge, and that creates a very solid foundation. And with the dynamism in the market and the areas that we are active in, we believe we can be a big player in that, and that should drive our ambitious growth. Um, the way we are trying to do it within Greaves is to create very clear focus areas. And with this strategy of Greaves.Next, we have identified three focus segments, which is energy solutions,
Yeah.
mobility solutions, and industrial. And then to put in place very strong leadership teams to drive each of these businesses.
How do you look at India's multi-powertrain future? You've been a legacy engine auto parts maker, and you've had experiences in very different industries. Even today, the way you're exploring and diversifying. How do you look at where future stands? How do you bet on a technology? Because again, there's talk of diesel coming back, hydrogen, ethanol, and a lot of different kinds of technology. We don't even know the technology of the future 10 years from now. So how do you sort of, secure yourself in terms of future proofing?
Yeah. So one thing is clear that there is not going to be any just one technology which is going to be encompassing all.
Yeah.
It is going to be a mix, right? If you look a decade ago, it was mainly internal combustion engines driven by diesel and petrol. Over the time, it has now evolved. It's more multi-fuel. So
Correct.
even within internal combustion engine, you have diesel, you have CNG, you have petrol, you have a blend of fuels. And in more recent times, there has been the whole electric motor and battery technology which has come up.
Yeah.
So most companies that I know and many of our customers are not betting on any one technology.
Yeah.
They believe that in the near future and even over the next decade is going to be a mix of powertrains and a mix of technology which is going to drive the industry.
Yeah.
At Greaves, we are also doing the same. So we have also very strong capability in our diesel engines for the three-wheeler auto. Over the last few years, we have developed CNG and gasoline engines and also the flex fuels. But now we are doubling down and investing in electric motors and electric powertrain. And going forward, we see it is going to be a mix of these technologies which will drive our growth.
Right. In the last few years, there was, during the pandemic, there was talk of China plus one strategy for a lot of companies investing here in India, India being the hub for export to other countries,
Yeah.
last man standing on ice perhaps, because a lot of them are diversifying in different, different strategies as per different countries. So how do you see India as an export hub for you? And how do other, because you've had global experience, how do they view India as a manufacturing hub, and what is the potential like?
Yeah, I think that thesis of China plus one or of India becoming a bigger manufacturing base still holds true. Personally, I'm a big believer in it, and I think it is becoming more real now for a few reasons. One, the whole infrastructure build in India has accelerated. The regulatory environment is slowly but steadily simplifying. But I can tell you in most recent times, technology, which is AI technology or the combination of electronics, mechatronics, software, is helping India also become a serious player. Personally, we have seen that development. One of our most recent successes has been in partnering with a European company for the automotive segment.
Yeah.
We have started supplying engines and systems for the quadricycle market in Europe with a company called Ligier, which is a very renowned brand. And what is exciting for me from our company's point of view is that we were able to meet the very stringent emission norms of Europe as well as meet their high quality standards. And I'm sure many of the industry peers are also looking into that and growing their export businesses. So I think the next decade is going to see a real significant growth in the engineering and manufacturing industry in India.
Okay. Any CAGR you would want to share, future projections in terms of growth percentage for export businesses primarily?
So we look at our whole portfolio, and in the Greaves.Next strategy, which focuses on the three segments that I talked about, we are aiming to grow at between 16 to 20% CAGR.
Yeah.
But we believe that our international business should be growing at faster than that because we are starting from a small base today.
Okay. And any numbers that you could share between, I mean, the split between these three businesses that you very clearly defined in the Greaves.Next strategy? How will that play out individually? How will the growth rates pan out?
I would ask you to be a bit patient on that because we are just coming up to the end of the quarter and we have got an investor call planned in the early February days. At that time, we will come out with a more detailed disclosure.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So within the market, I mean, we look at a lot of competition, a lot of players just like you diversifying in businesses. Like you talked about multi-fuel power strategy, everyone wants to secure themselves, future-proof themselves. So how do you look at the competitive landscape of India developing? And because that, again, domestic capabilities is again going to be a big part of your Greaves.Next strategy. So how will that pan out in terms of competition getting into it as well?
It is a very competitive space. One, there is a lot of funding available in India. We are looking at the stock markets, we are looking at the amount of private capital coming in. So a lot of funding is available. Also, in the last few years, the auto components, automotive space has been growing at a very good growth rate, which attracts competition. Personally, I think it's good. It helps to increase the level of the whole industry because people are getting better educated. People like me who used to live abroad are coming back into India and contributing. So there is competition. I find that is good for the industry as a whole. As a company, of course, that makes our job even more important. We have to have a business formula that is a winning formula.
Yeah.
And for me, that is going to be focused on investing in technology and being a truly future-ready partner for our customers.
Right. Let's just want to understand your investment of 500 to 700 crores. What will that entail? What will be the growth areas and key pain points at this point that you would want to address just coming in?
So we start from a very good base in the sense that we have manufacturing capacity enough to drive our growth for the next few years. So our Capex investments are going to be focused on product development. I think there is a definite need to continue to invest in enhancing our products, especially when we want to make them ready for the international market. So that is one big area of investments. The second area is developing our capabilities in the international markets. So when we are getting into markets such as the Middle East or Europe, apart from selling our products, we want to do the service of those products as well. So we need to invest in support for that. And thirdly, of course, we are continuing to enhance our technology and our manufacturing capability, not capacity, but capability. With the advent of robotics and AI, we steadily invest in that so as to make us future ready and make sure our cost base remains efficient.
Makes sense. So the way I see it, look at it, it's with you coming in, there's a lot more structure, a lot more empowerment on different business segments with them developing, if I'm trying to understand it correctly, because there's a lot more structure and the method to that madness that you're sort of bringing in.
That's the aim. That's the aim. I strongly believe in creating a strong leadership team and empowering them to deliver on their businesses. And our businesses are quite diverse. So therefore it is important to create these focus segments which I talked about and put the right teams in place and empower them.
Right. Kudos to that. And thank you so much for speaking to us on that very positive note. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure chatting with you.